Coming up right now, a tourist goes out for a kayak and winds up returning home without a limb.
Oh boy. Also coming up, why a worker at a New York library is suing over the size of his desk.
That's what you can do with the desk. Keep that in mind. All right, a little bit later on, a 10-year-old calls 911 for help, but it wasn't really an emergency. However, dispatcher, he sent an officer anyway.
Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
And I am Mitch English, and we are welcoming you to Daily Flash. So happy to be here. Yeah. We have got us a great show all lined up. We're going to also check in with Hazmat. How are you doing over there?
A little depressed.
Depressed?
You can go to the YouTube page and see my full sadness, compelling argument
What
for
happened?
Muppet Vision 3D is leaving Disney's Hollywood Studios here in Florida. They're replacing it with Monsters, Inc. It's the last thing Jim Henson ever directed before he passed, too.
Oh, wow.
They're replacing it with Monsters, Inc. land.
Favorite Muppet? Who's your favorite Muppet?
The judges.
The guys up at the
guys
top?
up at the top,
That's
yeah.
I never thought of them as judges.
Yeah.
I always call them the old guys up at the top.
Statler and Waldorf? Yeah.
Nerds and other names. I would have called them the guys up in the balcony.
Yeah.
You called them the judges. Maddie, do you have a favorite?
Pepe the Shrimp.
Yeah.
He's just
okay,
a
I
dirty
forget
little
about him.
pervy shrimp. It's hilarious.
And then I'd probably say Gonzo. I think I relate to Gonzo.
Gonzo the Great.
Just how he's always just trying to get in and have a hook nose. James, do you have one?
I would say, was it Beaker?
Love us, our Muppets.
Was the chef? The chef was part of the Muppets.
Swedish chef.
Yes, I like
Swedish
Swedish chef.
Well, there was a professor with Beaker, and then the chef had his own deal.
Thing, yeah.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, get his name right.
All right, nerd.
Yeah, right. A realtor in Utah making some headlines and sort of dusting some feathers, I guess, if you will, about not letting kids come into open houses.
I'm for it.
So she relays a situation where she had an open house. Family comes in with a 6-year-old daughter. They're looking at the house. The 6-year-old is running around like a maniac, as most 6-year-olds do. And look, open houses are not exciting for kids. She starts hauling butt toward the other side of the house, toward the backyard. And no sooner did the realtor say, stop. Don't go any further. She runs right through the sliding glass door. It's an older sliding glass door, so it shatters in big chunks. She's turning around right as the realtor's saying, don't go through the door. One of the chunks of glass hits her in the side of the stomach. She ends up pulling it out, not thinking of it. Little girl cut her hand. I mean, of course, they had to call 911, and she was taken to the hospital. Thankfully, she was okay, but this kind of situation is something that probably happens more often than not. And so she's saying it might be best to leave the kids at home if you can.
I think so. If you go, hey, look, you want the kids to be involved in purchasing a new home, but then you do that on the second visit, maybe not the open house.
Yeah.
Plus, there's many things. And then also you got kids running around. I smell cookies. Where are the cookies? I just smell them. Where are they at?
Why are we blaming the kids? It's the parents. They should have more control of that kid.
That's a very
good point, too.
Now they should be responsible for that window too. I mean that glass door.
Well, to me, yeah, and having lived out in Utah, this is a place that has a lot of big families. So I mean, I can understand that. Then you got to get a babysitter, and that's and I get that. But to that, it's like, listen, if you're going to bring a kid, just keep them under control for sure.
In most open houses, they're snoopy neighbors anyway. They're not even really there to. They're like, hey, what do they
to
have
get ideas?
True, that is true. But I think when it comes to the kids, I think James, your point is well taken, because I think the parents have to keep the kids under control to some degree.
100%. Yeah.
I think parents tend to kind of zone out, like they get used to the screaming and the yelling and the playful behavior. They just get used to it. So when they go out in public, they don't think
restaurants,
anything.
especially.
Yes.
Restaurants are like that. It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. What do you think? We'd love to hear your thoughts. You can drop us an email. You can go to flash@dailyflashshow.com or just go to our website and sound off. Let's talk about some trending news. A kayaker got trapped while out on the water in Australia. However, returned home without one of his limbs. The man, he's in his 60s. He went 60 years with all his limbs intact. However, he was out with friends. His leg became wedged between the rocks in a raging rapids. His smartwatch actually alerted emergency services about an hour after he was trapped. The rescue team spent more than 12 hours just trying to free the man who was partially submerged in that chilly water. The only way to actually get him out, the hard way. Amputate his leg. And got to tell you, that's the worst way to do it. But how many stories do we hear about rocks? People, this is like the third big story I've heard.
Yes.
We had a lady that dropped her cell phone.
And she went head first to get the phone and got her head
upside
stuck
down
between the rocks.
In that movie, 127 Hours.
Yes, James Franco.
But that guy had to actually cut
his
himself
arm
off.
off.
You think about that. And then Coyote Ugly, not the movie. Is you know what Coyote Ugly is? Where that name came from? Everybody?
No.
Coyote Ugly.
I know the bar.
Okay, the bar. But where that name came from,
No,
Coyote
tell me.
Ugly, is that you wake up the next morning, she's so ugly, you'd rather gnaw your arm off than wake up. She's Coyote Ugly. You've never heard that? I thought everybody knew that. So they made the bar in the movie.
Learn
Coyote
something
Ugly.
every day here on
You guys never heard of
No,
Coyote
I
Ugly?
didn't know that.
Yeah, you chew your arm off so you don't wake them up.
Lord have mercy.
Reference.
Well, I mean, we've all
It
been.
is, but it is the bar, but the bar is reference to Coyote Ugly.
We've all been there.
Gotcha.
Beer goggles.
Yeah.
And the irony is that all the women are beautiful at the Coyote Ugly.
Of
so,
course.
all right, there you go.
A New York Public Library employee is suing his
Glad to teach.
employer because he claims his desk is too small and he's demanding a $4.3 million payout
outta
for his
here.
pain and suffering. William Martin, who weighs in at 360 pounds and stands 6'2", was assigned to work the welcome desk in 2021, but he complained that the space was too small and cramped for his size. So he was reassigned to a different floor. Fast forward to 2023 when a new manager came on board and moved him back to his original location. Martin claims his new boss had bullied him by making him work in the cramped space. His boss claims Martin was sleeping on the job and was suspended for his workplace behavior.
And there's security cameras. I'm sure that he probably has to have a decent case.
Oh, yes.
It's so hard to fire people these days. You have to make sure.
is.
$3 million because your desk is too small.
$4.3 million.
I'm sorry, $4 million because your desk is too small.
Pain and suffering.
You should be lucky that he has a desk. And if those were the shots of it, that thing looked pretty big to me.
Comfortable, I
Listen,
think he could manage.
James, come here for a second, buddy,
Yes.
if you wouldn't mind. James,
All right,
I'm
I'm
going to let
stepping
you
out.
tell me if this
Yes.
desk would this fit your lifestyle?
This fits.
Because
It's
you
just-
look about his size.
Look. All right, here you go. I can fit. I'm just a little
Yes.
tall, but I can fit. It's okay, guy. You're going for $4.3 million.
But you're comfortable, right?
Hey, you know what? That buys a lot of Popeye's chicken. Hey, I will go for it too. I support you, guy. I support you.
Because you're a
As long as I get
doppelganger. But you're a big guy. Do you have that issue? I mean, do you have to have special chairs or anything like that?
I would say this, and I'm walking back.
Yeah,
into
come
this.
on back.
So I would say this, guys.
Come on.
There are situations where the
a
desks
seat.
are too low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
right now, I got to squat. But in this situation, if it's on the edge, not where welcome is, if
Yeah.
it's on the edge, that's a little too low. If he's 6'2", and he's a big guy, 300 some odd pounds, they had to buy him an extra special big guy seat because he has a big back. I understand.
All right. He's just big boned.
We know your pain. We know your pain. All right, moving forward. A Wisconsin sheriff's deputy came to the rescue of a 10-year-old after dispatch received a 911 call. Okay, normal story.
Yeah.
However, the 10-year-old said that he needed help with his math homework.
Aw.
The dispatcher explained to the young caller, listen, 911 is not the best number to call for homework help, but she did offer her assistance. 911 call operators, they have to deal with all kinds of
sure
stuff. They're
do.
great people. After she shared the math problem with him, she told him that she was unable to help him with the solution over the phone, but agreed to send a deputy to his house.
Aw, that's
The
nice.
officer arrived at the home and was able to actually solve that math problem. I can't say she was probably following protocol. Anytime a phone call is made, 911, even
Yeah.
if you pick it up and hang it up, an officer will come. But it's nice to see like an outreach that he came and like tried to help him out all together with that 911 rescue of, because, you know, it could have been a code. You know, maybe he was like, you know, that's why they have to send somebody out. Like, hey, I need help with what does that mean? Maybe you don't want to say that there's an issue. So it made sense, but it was nice of Bo to put on the city.
I'm going to say the kid's a little suspect. You can use ChatGPT now.
Google. That's true.
Maybe he's not that smart.
Have you seen the new commercials for the Google? What is it?
Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
I've not.
It's a little creepy.
Yeah.
Like they go around and all these people are like, "Oh, okay, Gemini. How do I fix my car?" And the guy's underneath a car, and he's like, you know, the Gemini's telling him exactly what to do. And then there's like 4 or 5 other people that are relying on and one girl's laying on her bed, like talking to Gemini about her dreams. I was like, okay, this is like beyond creepy.
I can't tell you. And if you're going to talk to Gemini about your dreams and you're on your back, it should be in a strip. That's the thing.
Yeah, Mercury's over.
Mercury's over that. Gemini.
Gemini's really into you.
Make it rain.
Gemini, make it rain.
She'll do a lot of things for you. I don't know if find out math problems.
I swear, Gemini loved me.
Hey, we're going on the scene with Doreen coming up when we return. Stick around. More flash and more fun right here. Don't you go anywhere, Gemini. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Flash. Don't you just love dancing when you hear that music? It's time to get on the scene. This week, Doreen is talking it up with legendary rock and roll photographer Bob Gruen.
Today on The Scene with Doreen, I got to sit down with one of the most prolific rock and roll photographers of all time, Bob Gruen. You may not know his name, but you will definitely know his work. Check it out.
Bob Gruen was a invited guest at all times. He wasn't a pushy photographer. He got in, got his shot, and got out.
I assume that's all your work behind you?
Yeah, it's kind of my inspiration wall. Things keep me company.
The list of rock and roll legends that you've captured in photos is mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's some pretty charismatic people I've gotten to know.
I've read that you credit Ike and Tina Turner for the start of your career.
My early 20s, a friend of ours said we had to go see Tina Turner because she was amazing, and we went to see a show, and Tina was more than amazing. She was the most amazing person I've ever seen on a stage. And I brought my cameras. The first time I brought my camera to take pictures of somebody that wasn't a friend of mine. I took some pictures of Tina and Ike that night. I got some really good pictures. At the end of her set, she dances off to a strobe light. And I just took a chance, and I opened the camera to 1 second to see if I could capture several of the strobe effects. And 3 or 4 of the pictures are useless, but one of them is the most perfect picture I've ever taken. And it captured 5 images of Tina Turner in her dance, in her movement. That night with Tina Turner really kind of kicked everything off for me, and it just started snowballing after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Blondie.
I recently had Chris Stein from Blondie on the show, and I know that he took a lot of their photos, but so did you.
I remember Lisa Robinson, who was a major journalist here in America. I did a lot of work with Lisa Robinson. And she called me up one day and she said, go to this club, I think it was Brownies or someplace, maybe Mother's, to see the Stilettos. And she said, they have a lead singer, Debbie Harry. She's very beautiful. She's going to be really big. And I remember walking in the room and seeing Debbie and going, yes, she is really beautiful.
A lot of people think that your shot with Debbie Harry and Iggy Pop may be your best photo ever.
Iggy was in the dressing room saying hello to Debbie, and I said, can I get a picture of the two of you? And we literally stepped to the side of the dressing room into the bathroom. If you look at that picture, the background is all tiles. And instead of just standing there like next to each other, Iggy put his arm around Debbie, and then much to my surprise, he reached down and grabbed her breast. And I thought, wow, why didn't I say good? Imagine all the people.
50 years ago, 1974, you created one of the most iconic rock and roll images of all time. The great John Lennon in the New York City t-shirt on the roof of his East 52nd Street penthouse.
John had called me to come to his apartment. He was still separated from Yoko for a while, and he had an apartment on the east side with a penthouse apartment, had a little roof outside. And he asked me to come over to take some pictures of his face for the album cover for Walls and Bridges. John said, well, let's take some more pictures so we have everything ready for the publicity kit. So we started taking some pictures around the roof, and the skyline of New York was all around us. And he just looked great, and we were having a conversation. So in the photo, he looks very available because we are in the middle of a conversation. And he just looks healthy and confident. And We had no idea that that picture was going to become as popular as it has.
But why do you think that photo has become the famous piece of pop culture history that it has?
I can't explain why, because there are so many pictures. When I met John, he'd already been a Beatle, and he had tens of thousands of photos, probably millions of photos taken of the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very comfortable having his picture taken. Well, I think he looks very comfortable, very confident, and very available. Like I said, we're in the middle of a conversation, so he looks like he's available to talk to you too. Somebody used the word, they said it's self-revelatory because it says New York and it looks like New York.
Bob's memoir, Right Place, Right Time, The Life of a Rock and Roll Photographer. See the documentary, Rock and Roll Exposed, The Photography of Bob Gruen, and check out more of his amazing collection of photographs at bobgruen.com.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
And if you want to hear more of our captivating conversation, visit right here. I'm Doreen Taylor with The Scene with Doreen here at the Daily Flash each week. See you next time.
Thank you there, Doreen. Good stuff there. All right, I know why Hugo had me do this story, because he absolutely knows I cannot stand this kind of stuff. Well, a Florida man has transformed his garage into a haven for hundreds of exotic reptiles, including 2 that are actually venomous, all right? Family, right now my feet are being, look, so I don't even want them touching the ground. The family's garage uses special heat zones and cold zones in each enclosure for day and night variations. That means his home is kept at a constant 72 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, 68 at night. 45-year-old dad said his fascination with snakes started at 6 years old, and he's not received therapy yet. No, that's my commentary. He would also like to spend his free time looking for venomous copperheads. He said that the massive collection is truly a labor of love. It costs him too, $1,300 every 2 months just to feed them.
Oh my
gosh. I mean, here's the thing: is like if he would be my neighbor, and then one day, somebody left the gate open, and then I'm not sleeping anymore. I'm moving across town. That stuff would drive me. And I don't want to. Everybody's got their thing. Okay, like I could have a garage full of spiders, and some people can understand snakes. I'm telling you, I'm freaking out.
You draw the line at snakes.
God, I hate them.
Okay. Do you remember the cobra that got loose here in Orlando?
I remember hearing about it. Yeah, not all the details.
Yeah, so I covered that story, and the guy that had the cobra, he has a huge exotic pet collection, and he was one of the guys that Fish and Wildlife would go to say, hey, we've got venomous snakes we've just encountered at the airport. Somebody was trying to bring them in, and he goes, no problem, I'll handle them for you. Well, and then fast forward, I think it was 2 or 3 months later, this little old lady who lived down a cul-de-sac adjacent to his farm found the cobra in her dryer. It had crawled in through her garage and found a home in her dryer. Could you imagine?
Okay, yeah, and me, I would be taking the clothes out. I'm going on to work, and I have a shirt on, and all of a sudden, why is my, that would freak me out.
Cobra.
A cobra, too. This cobra's the one with the...
Yeah, with the hood that, they...
Cobra Kai, I should know that, by all means. By all means. If I had a favorite snake, the cobra looks kind of cool, because it's got that thing up at the top,
exactly. But they're deadly and terrible.
And G.I. Joe, too.
Yes, and G.I. Joe, yes.
I'm Cobra!
Welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Andrea Jackson. In this week's Boss Lady, by day, she's an energy investor. By night, she's a novelist. Her latest book, Winner's Curse, is a suspense thriller pumped with intrigue around the energy industry. Please welcome author L.A. Starks to Daily Flash. Welcome, L.A. How are you?
Great. But so glad to be here.
So this is so fascinating. You combine politics and intrigue revolving around the real life energy sector. Tell us about your new book.
It's a suspense thriller. It's filled with energy intrigue, kind of ripped from the headlines, if you will. I've used a lot of, because I'm in the oil and gas business, used a lot of the familiar dialect, maybe even some of the characters, and certainly some of the locations. It's a conspiracy to get control of an oil field technology that's very valuable, and the people fighting over it. The protagonist, Lynn Dayton, is in the thick of it, trying to protect her people.
They always say, write what you know, and you know the energy business. Did you really get locked in a refinery cooling tower? And what exactly is a refinery cooling tower?
I really did. And to this day, I don't know if it was an accident or maybe just being hazed. A way to think of it, you might have seen a big wooden cube outside of a hospital with water running down one side. And it's a way to use air to cool off the water. But I got locked inside, and inside it's like being in a dark cave. So it was pretty claustrophobic for anybody who's ever experienced that.
I have to ask you this, as a chemical engineer, how did you end up writing thrillers?
That's so perfect. I grew up in a refinery town. So everybody around me was a scientist and engineer, like probably every writer. I enjoyed reading and wanted to, imitate my heroes, the authors. Became aware that because I needed to support myself, it wasn't going to happen real quickly. And so Plan B, believe it or not, given this background, was chemical engineering. Along the way, I wrote for the newspaper, did some nonfiction, and then there was a point a while back where I had an opportunity to start trying my hand at the first 50 revisions of my first book.
Was there a moment in your career that was sort of an aha moment where you thought, okay, this would make the perfect story?
Really, all along the way, what I, in all my reading, I didn't see the people who I worked with, the people around me, really reflected. And so there were so many times where I said, oh, this is a classic, a classic in fiction is a family situation. So this is sort of a classic family situation. Definitely all over the place. Oil and gas is a $1 trillion business, affects, every country, everywhere. And so it's a natural for a thriller.
What writers have been your inspiration along the path?
Oh, so many. Just everybody I've read. Michael Crichton is one. Sarah Paretsky of Chicago. I've got some Chicago scenes in this book. Alex Berenson is one. Oh my gosh, I've got a list of 50 or 60.
What's it been like for you being a female in a mostly male-dominated field, and you are truly a boss lady in all of this? This is, I am the CEO of my investment analysis company. But really, every company, every organization, every sector has its own culture, and it's very much more what's the culture as opposed to is it male or female. It's kind of how does it work? And even within the oil and gas companies that I have worked for and to this day still work with, there are distinct cultures. There's the get it done drillers. There's the marketers who are out there, marketing, and then there are the planning nerds. And I was kind of one of the planning nerds. So many different layers to it. Before we let you go, I've got to ask you, have you happened to see this new show with Billy Bob Thornton called Landman, which revolves around the energy industry?
I have been paying attention. I have seen some of the scenes, and I think what I can tell so far is he's quite appropriately dramatized everything that goes on, including the fires and explosions. I do understand that maybe in the first...
LA, thanks so much for joining us. Her new book is called Winner's Curse, and you can find out more at lastarksbooks.com. Stay with us. More coming up right after this.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, everybody. I am Mitch English.
I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
This time of year, it seems like people are taking more and more cruises. The cost has gone down. And also, if you go south of the equator, it's kind of warm, so you can do that. This story is going to blow your mind. Royal Caribbean had the Explorer of the Seas. Did you guys hear about this story?
No.
First off, all right. So it's off the coast of Spain, and they have a great captain who saw that there was some really strong wind gusts coming up there. So it had to take a 45-degree turn. Okay, think about that. That's pretty big.
Giant cruise ship taking...
Turn, 45 degrees, so they wouldn't miss it, right? Well, what happens is, when you take a turn, you lean really far over, okay? All right, I've set the stage for that. So Julie, the cruise director who plans all the event, guess what song was playing while this was happening?
Don't tip the boat over, rock
Close.
the boat.
Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On."
Why would you play that on a cruise ship?
No, it gets better, Maddie.
What
was playing up at top. Now, if you were up top, you were hearing Celine Dion, "My Heart Goes On." You go downstairs to the theater.
Yeah.
Guess what movie was playing?
Titanic.
No. While they had done this. People were freaking out and were like, what the heck's going on? I mean, a 45-degree turn's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, you could feel it. Now, Matt, you've been on many cruises, right? So you can feel it.
Oh, no.
They did say, the people that were aboard said, listen, the staff was extremely professional, though. They said they handled it well. However, whose idea would it to be playing Titanic or to be playing
to put that
Celine
on there?
Dion? Yeah.
I would think on any cruise ship,
Yes.
Titanic is not something that you would ever play, and the Celine Dion song should be scrubbed from every kind of audio system altogether.
my God.
Yes.
Somebody's job. Julie is.
Somebody was trolling.
Wow.
You do that on purpose.
I think
that
maybe
is somebody doing that on purpose.
Did they have the orchestra playing on the top
Until
of the
they go
deck
down.
until they made the 45
I'd be dressing up like either a woman or a baby, one or the other.
And you go
Is that a
upstairs.
lifeboat?
You go upstairs and your captain's got a big white beard.
Yeah.
It's a little off.
All right. All right, here we go.
Oh, goodness.
Speaking of which, being on the water and in trouble.
Oh boy, a kayaker got trapped while out on the water in Australia and returned home without one of his limbs. This is terrible. The man is in his 60s. He was out with friends when his leg became wedged between the rocks in the raging rapids. His smartwatch actually alerted emergency services about an hour after he was trapped. Rescue teams spent more than 12 hours trying to free the man, who was partially submerged in chilly waters. The only way to get him out was to amputate his leg right there on the spot.
And unlike the movie 127 Hours, where you had the little tiny knife.
Yeah.
And you call that a knife?
Oh, yeah. They got the saw out.
I tell you, can you imagine? I imagine the water and cooling down might have helped out a little bit.
Could have numbed him,
That's
psychological pain.
Psychological, yeah. And 60 years old, you went 60 years to get to this point and to have to go through this.
He's probably got another good 20 years on him because he's a pretty active guy. I would imagine if he's kayaking in these rapids.
And I tell you, Australia, everything there wants to kill you. Everything wants to kill you.
Even the inanimate objects. The rocks want to kill you.
Rocks even.
The water want to kill you.
I have often thought about going to Australia, but now that you've pointed that out, maybe I'll just watch
I'll
it
see
from
the
afar.
Opera House and maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Sydney. That's all. But yeah, you go any further out, it seems like every story you hear, and they have spiders literally that big.
Yes.
Apparently the kangaroos are like squirrels. They're everywhere. They're just a thing.
Yeah, check it out.
And they'll fight you too.
Oh yeah. People think that they're this loving. No, and if you ever seen them, they're ripped.
They're
They look like
freaky.
James.
They look like a rock.
They
Yes.
do.
Go Google it.
That one guy that went over and punched the one because it was trying to beat up his dog.
Like ripped.
Yeah, have you seen them fight one another?
yeah.
It is terrifying.
And their face too. Their face looks mean. Google this. Just Google. It's not AI. Before AI takes over, and you want to see what real nature is. Watch a kangaroo fight. He's like the.
Or if you've ever seen any Warner Brothers cartoon, they give you a pure idea with the boxing. And
No, these guys are bad for sure, 100%.
It's like a nightmare come to life.
In Australia or the fighting?
In Australia.
Yeah, they'll do that. And the thing is, they're used to spiders are not a big deal. They get it.
It's like us with gators. We see one, we're like, oh, there's a gator. Everybody else from all over the world freaks out.
They have Crocs down there.
Yeah.
So all right, we have, and then you watch an Australian wearing Crocs. I tell you, they put the socks all the way up to the kneecap.
Made out of alligator.
Alligator. There you go. We have got more flash. We're going to talk about some holiday decor trends that are coming up.
If you're decking your house out for the holidays, we've got some great
cool.
advice coming up for you.
Stick around.
Design and lifestyle expert Michael Welch joins us with some great how-tos to make your holiday home decor come together like magic. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm so excited because we are going to talk about how you can decorate your home using Command brand products so that we don't tear up our walls. So okay, let me just tell you. So Command brand has so many new colors that they've introduced. And as a designer, I'm super excited about it. I mean, we have everything from vanilla bean to soot to mulled wine, even sage green. Oh my gosh, how could you not love colors when it comes time to decorating? So let's talk about what we're all plagued with. How do we design for the holidays without ruining the walls when we get finished? Well, I'm going to give you some easy things that you can do on your own using Command brand products. But first, let's talk about some big wow moments that can really help you. So here are 4 decorating trends that are great for this holiday season. Up first is going to be what you see behind me, which is the Cotswolds holiday. That's paying homage to old English Christmas. Then you've got all white. Think about these trees right here, and they're just flocked with all white, just a super clean Christmas. You have whimsical decor as well, which is going to be all about that color. And then, of course, we're here in Hollywood. We love a little bit of glitz and glam. So you've got that Hollywood glam Christmas, which is all about silver and gold. But let's talk about how you can make a big impact at home. So I know behind me, it looks like this is really difficult. It's not. All this is ornaments that have been hung using ribbon. And then I've used some decorator clips. Less than 1 pound can hang on this. Simple and easy. Then let's go even bigger. Let's talk about like that window that you have in your home. Well, you can use the window too to decorate using Command brand products. So I'm all about using wreaths. Well, a great way to put a wreath on the window is using our clear hooks that you see right here. It's a nice medium size and it can hold up to 5 pounds, and it'll make a dramatic difference when people walk into the house and they're like, oh my gosh, how did you get that wreath suspended? Well, you did it using Command brand products. And I'm telling you, it's simple and easy. Even for myself, this season, I'm going to be doing a little bit of decorating on my mantle. So I'll be using several of our toggle hooks. What I love about the new toggle hooks from Command brand, or I should say the new color, this sage green is perfect because it's just going to blend right in, and it is perfect for when I'm putting all of my garland out. And then even little simple things like, don't forget like your stockings. We're always wondering how we can hang those. Well, again, using Command brand products, we can make it simple and easy. And then the last thing, I'm someone who doesn't like a lot of clutter. So I am all about these new cord bundlers. This is great because it keeps everything tidy, and this will make your Christmas perfect. For more information on any of these products, head on over to command.com.
Well, this holiday season is the perfect time to consider winter wellness and gifts of health. Here's registered dietitian Mia Sen with a few ways to enjoy the holidays. Hey there, Mia.
Here are some tips to look and feel your best this holiday season. My first tip is to stock up on symptom relief. The new Mucinex Sinus Saline Nasal Spray is the first ever saline product with a 2-in-1 nozzle that makes it possible to switch and choose from 2 spray settings to help clear up everyday congestion and soothe the nose. Next, put a nutritious twist on classic holiday recipes like cookies and brownies with the Almond Breeze Almond Milk, a creamy plant-based milk. I love the almond milk nog, which is an indulgent and rich nog that only has 70 calories per serving. And finally, this time of year can do a number on our skin. And so turn to MetaHeal, which is a trusted name in Korean skincare that has been leveling up for years. You've probably seen their toner pads all over TikTok. My favorite are the collagen ampoule pads, which are a bestseller in Korea. For more information, you can head to my website, nutritionbymia.com.
On November 12th, 27 students came together in the nation's capital for the National Civics Bee Championship. Here's Deanna Stokes with the results.
So last week we had the opportunity to host our inaugural National Civics Bee National Championship, where 27 students from around the country came to our headquarters in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. And the results ultimately was their experience. We know that some of the students have never traveled outside of their home states before, so this was a great opportunity to come to the nation's capital with their families and to make memories. The students also engaged in a team challenge. They answered some pretty difficult questions through a quiz, as well as answered questions from a live panel of judges. And a lot of these students are change makers in their local communities because they've brought some of their solutions to life by partnering with local nonprofits and business leaders to bring these solutions to their communities. And that also includes our first place winner, Emily Brubaker, who was the winner of the $100,000 education plan. For more information, you can visit our website, nationalcivicsbee.org, to learn more how to apply for the upcoming competition.
And now, lifestyle expert Joanne Butler joins us with a scoop on everything you need to celebrate the holidays. She knows how to do it, too.
Hey, some more holiday things you need to know right now. First off, I am loving these new hearing protectors by 3M. They're called WorkTunes Connect Plus Solar. Just an amazing gift for anyone who is around loud noise. We did a story about this recently. Extended exposure to noise over 85 decibels can be permanently damaging to our hearing. So even things you don't think about, like mowing the lawn, using power tools, or being on a loud job site can actually damage hearing over time. So these reduce the noise to help lower the risk of preventable hearing loss. First of its kind actually on the market. They continuously charge using solar power. So whether you're inside or out, they'll charge. You can take calls, stream music, and other things using your Bluetooth connection. They have high fidelity speakers, so primo sound quality, comfortable ear cushions. They're water resistant, a great gift for construction workers or contractors or the do-it-yourselfers on your list. Amazon.com, $169.99. Head to 3m.com/worktunes for more on these babies. I love them. Now, an amazing gift for the beauty lovers on your list. These are new holiday hair sets from Carasilk. Just an amazing brand. Hair masks, smoothing balms that tame frizz, strengthen your strands, great for your daily hair routine. Just gives you strong, beautiful, luxurious locks, which is all we really want for Christmas, in this beautiful floral packaging designed by artist and embroiderer Ellie Mack. 4 different sets to choose from, ranging from $38 to $67. You get them at Carasilk Salon, so head to their website, carasilk.com, to find one near you. Even comes with this beautiful little bracelet. Love it. Now let's talk shopping safely online. I've partnered with Norton to empower people to take time on Cyber Safety Sunday, which is December 1st, to help you do it. According to their Holiday Cyber Safety Insights report, 30% of Americans have been targeted by a scam while holiday shopping online. 30% of those say they were targeted on Black Friday, 11% on Cyber Monday, and 30% on Christmas. It's crazy. So some things you can do to protect yourself. Use strong, unique passwords across all your online accounts. Enable that multi-factor authentication, even though it's annoying. Help create and store passwords securely. Use something like Norton Password Manager, which is great to help you do it. Use strong security on your devices. 360 Deluxe is great to help protect your devices and your online privacy. Check your delivery notifications and social media ads that pop up. They have a free AI-powered scam detector called Norton Genie app that can help you spot scams in seconds, whether it's a suspicious text or an email or a social media message. Lastly, set up fraud alerts and consider identity theft protection like LifeLock. That'll help keep a lookout for your personal information and help restore your identity should you fall victim to identity theft. You don't want that to happen. No good for the holidays. And there you have it. Have a happy and safe holiday season.
During the holiday shopping season, it's important to protect yourself and your wallet from scams. Here's Penny Lee with some great advice.
With the holiday shopping in full swing, scammers are on the lookout for their next target, but you can outsmart them. Scammers are experts at playing with your emotions, so if something sounds too good to be true, it likely is. Watch out for unexpected charity requests, pet deposit scams, asking for gift cards or payments. When in doubt, remember to treat digital payments just like cash. To keep your money safe, make sure to pause before you pay and only send money to those that you know and trust. Make sure you change your passwords often and don't use the same password twice. If you suspect fraud, reach out to verified customer support channels on the app or on the company's website. This holiday season, we're working with Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo to keep your money and financial information safe. To learn more, visit smarterthanscams.com.
Well, you're looking for some great toys to keep your kids engaged for the holiday and beyond. Well, we got Chris Byrne, the toy guy. He's got some of his favorites.
Hey, it's Chris Byrne, the toy guy, with some great toy ideas for your holiday shopping. We're going to start with Lego. The Lego Speed Champions Lamborghini looks like it just drove off the game Gran Turismo 7, 230 pieces, $26.99 for kids and kidults 10 and up. And then we're going to build out a world with Tile Town. This is the pet clinic and rescue fire station from Moose Toys. Magnetic tiles for narrative, great play and building. And then, of course, everything has an action tile that comes to life in a special way for kids, adds a little magnetic magic to them. If you need a pet monkey at home, this is the one to have. This is the For Real Peanut, the playful monkey from Just Play. Over 100 different interactions for you to engage with as kids learn to play with and have fun with their monkey pal. Moana 2 is coming out, and this is the singing adventure Moana doll from Mattel. She sings We're Back based on the movie, right out of the movie. That's about $24.99 for kids 3 and up. And then you definitely want to have a family game night during the holidays. This is a great one. It's Monopoly Go. It's based on the app game. The idea is to get 4 landmark squares on your card first, $19.99, and you can get a discount for the app as well. And finally, Hatchimals Alive Mystery Hatch. It's actually, you nurture the egg, you've got mist and sound, and then bang, you hatch your own one of 2 puffy corns. Really super sweet to play and interact with. That's about $59.99 from Spin Master. So these and many more toys you can find at thetoyguy.com.
KSA Entertainment is dedicated to uplifting the communities we serve. Through KSA Cares, we're bringing awareness to the causes that matter most, supporting those who work tirelessly to make a difference. From honoring veterans to championing environmental responsibility, KSA Cares is committed to inspiring positive change. At KSA Entertainment, we're here for the stories that bring us closer. Innovate with us. We can make a difference.
Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English. We've got some great ideas for all you green thumbers on your holiday gift lists. Here's landscape expert Sarah Bendrick with more.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very much looking forward to talking about all of these tools. Whether you're a DIYer or a garden enthusiast or have one in your family, these are really great tools to have. So Stihl is a company known for their chainsaws. They're wonderful tools, but now they're in the handheld battery game as well. So I have the GTA 26, which is a garden pruner. Absolutely love this tool. It's great for limbing up your shrubs or cutting down your tree branches into firewood or just to decompose them quicker in your compost pile. You also can do some creative projects. This year I made some holiday garland. If you need an extension pole, you can also add that. And this is a 5-foot extension to help you with those taller branches. So I also have the SEA20, which is a handheld vacuum. It's a wonderful tool. I used it. It's a great tool for pretty much anybody. So I used it to clean up after myself when I made my holiday garden. And one of the best things is that it's lightweight, easy to use. You can clean your car. You can clean the hard to get areas, but the batteries are interchangeable between the tools. And those tools, you actually have these 2, but there's 6 others that you can also add to your collection. You'll want to check out stihlusa.com to find a local dealer. They have 10,000 of them. You can support the Small Business Saturday, but also they're having a Black Friday sale, so it's the perfect time to get these tools. This is $60 off. This is $30 off, so go check out stihlusa.com. I also want to have you guys check out the hose link. So if you are tired of your hose kinking and being a pain in the butt in your garden, you're going to really appreciate this tool. Anybody that's a garden enthusiast knows about this hose and they want this hose. It's retractable. It moves with you. It also has a swivel nozzle, which just makes your life in the yard so much easier. It comes in 82-foot length, 50-foot length, and they are also having a sale. It's up to 50% off select items at hoselink.com.
And I got to tell you, my wife we have a huge garden up front,
Yes.
and so great ideas on all of this. And it's in the wintertime, sometimes it's a little harder to keep one together, like a nice garden flowing, but still, great advice there.
I think it's good too if you've got somebody who doesn't want a lot of stuff on their wish list, but they like to do things.
That's a good
That's a
point.
perfect.
Yeah,
way to go
100%.
about it.
Yeah, think about that. Well, we want you to do something, and that is tune in tomorrow. We'll do that in 23 hours, the whole thing over again.
I like it. Or dailyflashshow.com so you don't miss a minute.
Y'all take care. We'll see when we look at you.